I've got this is okay.
Yeah. No,
I've
you're right.
got this. It says view your joint info agenda description or attachment anytime in the meeting. That's nothing to do with me, right?
No, not as far as I know. No,
I can close that
no.
then. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I've just done that.
Speaker view. That's it. Done that there.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
Because you've got both of us on there. Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
good.
you've got a folder.
Yeah, I have. You know what? I forgot last night when we came here. It was about 10:30 at night. I said, "Oh, let me just check the link and all that in case I need to get anything ready." I didn't realize you sent me the PDF file.
Ah,
So I told my husband, "Please, please, please, print it for me." And oh, I
oh.
did fill in the form, but I haven't sent it to you.
No, you
Apparently, that.
don't. You don't need to because
Oh,
I've got your if I remember rightly from ages ago anyway from the
uh-huh.
crystals. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
So no
Okay. All
problem.
right.
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
problem there. And that.
Yeah.
So did you manage to get a good night's sleep last night, or do you find your energy was all over the place?
Oh, I must admit, I think the past few years, my energy has been over the place, up and down, and I dream many kind of things. But last night, the weird dreams I had was there was a monkey, a big monkey. I don't know. Wow, was trying to get hold of a little girl. So I was trying to save the girl, kind of thing. And then suddenly the dreams changed to somewhere else. I was in the room with the girl, and then the monkey's outside trying to pull some plants, but the plants look dry though. And then I told my husband, I said, "Can you just help the monkey to pull the plants?" I think he was trying to feed the plants, and there was a bear as well. But they were
Oh,
outside. I was in the house, and there's
yeah,
this girl here. I don't know why. It was a little bit sort of like strange, I would say. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
you don't think the little girl was you, do you?
No, no. I was saving the girl. The girl doesn't
Right.
look like
Okay.
me.
No. Okay. So it
I
wasn't
don't
you then.
know. And she, in fact, there's a mother. I think I was trying to get her to her mother or something like that. And she looks, obviously, she doesn't look like I am now. She looks rather European or whatever it is. But she's a small girl. She was about 3, 4 years old or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah, that kind
oh.
of thing.
That's a strange dream, isn't it?
Very strange.
With the big monkeys and what have you. Oh,
the
that's weird
the
then.
monkey reminds me of, have you watched this Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
But it's the brown color, not the black color. Like that size, it's the brown
Oh,
color.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay then. Yeah, that's unusual.
Yeah, very unusual. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
you
and then
noticed?
and also there was something to do with prayers as well. Can't
Yes.
remember what it was. There was a prayer that I attended, a session or something like that. Yeah. That's all I can
Oh,
remember, dear.
oh, that's all right. Have you noticed also if you've been more thirsty over the last 24 hours?
You're right, and I'm not hungry. In
Yeah.
fact, in fact, yesterday I only had blueberries and banana and water. I've not eaten anything all day. And today, so I like to drink. I drink quite a bit of water. And today I'm not hungry at all. I just want to drink water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is because they're preparing you for your attunement that we're doing today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Prior to yesterday was Monday, right? On Sunday, I don't usually eat late. But that evening, because we were busy doing things in the farm and all that, by the time we came back, I prepared dinner. It was about 7:30, almost 8 o'clock. For me, that's late in the evening. And I made Indian bread and some sort of like stuff, like Indians, that's a quick vegetable kind of thing with a bit of eggs as well. I had that and pickle. I don't usually eat that late, and I had quite a lot of the wheat. It's Indian bread made from wheat, and I've never had bad acid reflux. Never had acid reflux at all, but it was so bad. It was like this. I could feel the burning right up through my throat. And Sunday night I could not sleep flat. I had to be semi-recumbent,
Yeah.
and that's why I decided yesterday I'm not going to have anything to eat, just fruits and water. And today I'm just going to have water. I feel good actually, in spite of not eating.
Yeah.
I feel great, and I think I'm going to go ahead with water today all day. I see how my body goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good because again, that's because they're preparing you for your energy shift. Because
Ah,
today you're going to have an attunement where I'm putting symbols into your different chakras and into your hands to wake your hands up for you to do self healing.
Okay.
So, it's going to be amazing how you then will feel the different energy throughout the class and what have you, which I'll be able to show you, which is really good. And that
Oh,
anyway.
great. Thank
So,
you.
do you know anything about Reiki?
Only after what I quickly flipped through last night.
Right,
Prior to
okay.
that, the only thing I know with Reiki is that I know you mentioned about symbols. There's some symbols, but I don't know what the symbols are. And I know they use their hands, kind of thing, because my sister, elder sister in Singapore, and my niece as well, they've done Reiki. So from what I've seen them doing, I've seen them sometimes sitting down doing their self healing and things like that. Other than that, that's it. Nothing else
Okay,
actually.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, what I like about Reiki is it's not to do with any sort of like beliefs of individual people, not to do with religion, because it's universal energy. And that's what Reiki means. It means universal energy. Now, Reiki is a Japanese name, and that's because it was rediscovered from what they believe that Jesus used to do healing with. And because it was a Japanese monk, he then called it universal energy, which in Japanese means Reiki. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's Japanese. It's just because this Japanese monk rediscovered it. Because what happened was he's a Christian monk, and it was in the 1870s. It's nearly 200 years ago, isn't it now? Thereabouts, roughly 150 years ago, and what have you. And he was asked by his students that was teaching, did he know what happened to the energy, the healing that Jesus did? And of course, he didn't. And he couldn't then answer the question. So what he did was he traveled around the world and went to India, and he went to different places to find out if there was any ancient manuscripts, and he still couldn't find anything specific. So what he did was he then decided to come back to Japan, and he thought the way to do this is for me to meditate. So he then decided to go to the holy mountain, I always have pronunciation, a Kyoto, Kyoto, who came back there, and he went to the holy mountain, a Kuriyama. Sorry, you know me and my dyslexia. I'm not very good at pronunciation. Very good at
That's fine,
pronunciation.
dear.
That's it. So he decided then to fast and to not eat anything for 21 days. And he knew that it was at the top of this mountain for 21 days because he put a pebble in front of him to let him know how many days he'd been there. And at the 21st day, he then went into a deep meditation, and he saw all the colours of the rainbow, which is the colours of the chakras. And also he saw in his meditation the symbols and that as well. And he felt that he had an energy shift where his energy was like shivering and what have you. And he knew that he'd received some sort of an attunement from, God, for him then to receive this energy. He then decided to walk down the mountain. He banged his toe, which started to bleed, and automatically he put your hands on it, and he realised his hands started to tingle. So as he then put his hand on his toe because it was bleeding, he saw then that it stopped the bleeding. He then got to the bottom of the mountain. He then came to a tavern, and the innkeeper, their granddaughter, she had toothache. And I know this works because there was a crystal class I was teaching here, and I had a tooth abscess. When I put my hand on it, it was fine. But when I let my hand go to turn over the page as I was talking to the students, my hand, it started to throb, and that was a tooth abscess. But he said to the granddaughter, would you mind if I put my hand on there to see if it helps you tooth abscess? Because I felt that when I put my hand on my toe, it helped my toe from aching. And he did that, and apparently then the pain went away for the granddaughter. And I don't know if she had to have the tooth out and that afterwards, I don't know. Also, at the time, don't forget, he hadn't eaten for 21 days. He asked the innkeeper, could he have a large meal? And the innkeeper, realising he was a monk, realising he must have been fasting and meditating, said, do you think that's a good idea, having a big meal, because you might find you really ill? But anyway, he had the meal and he was fine. And a lot of people feel that these are like 3 miracles. Now, miracles to me is probably too strong a word, but you'll hear people talking about the 3 miracles. One is about when he puts his hand on his toe and it stopped bleeding. One when he did it on the granddaughter, and also eating the big meal. Now, I think it was heavenly sent, but I don't think it was a miracle per se. But that's what a lot of people believed. Anyway, so he then, Dr. Yusi, this monk, then went back to the city of Kyoto, and he said, well, what do I do with this healing that I've got in my hands? How can I help people? So he thought, right, I know what I'll do. I'll help the beggars. So he then helped the beggars, and he was giving them healing. And the beggars, after a period of time, he found that they didn't want to get better, that they kept coming back again, that they didn't want help necessarily. And he realised it might possibly be that because they were having the healing for free, they then weren't honouring the universe, if you like, honouring and also you as a healer by giving some sort of exchange. So there wasn't giving food or flowers, or, I mean, we do it with money nowadays, but he felt because they were having it for free, they were taking it for granted. So because of that, he came up with these, let me just see if I can find them, principles. And the principles are: just for today, do not worry. On page 11 I've got here.
Yes.
Yes, got that. Yeah. Just for today, do not worry. Just for today, do not anger. Honour your parents, teachers, and elders. Earn your living honestly, and show gratitude to every living thing. And I think that's beautiful, and that'd be lovely for, everybody to sort of like not abide by that, but to honour it. That to me, I think is really lovely for him to do that. So he then helped the beggars as best as he could, realised then that they didn't want help because they kept coming back. But what he did was, as well, he then started like a healing hospital, where he then helped everybody, not just beggars, anybody that wished to have some healing. And then he found that there was a couple of other people that wanted to learn what he was doing and to learn how to help people. And these were, you got the cheeky chappie, Dr. Chiriyama Hayashi, always have pronunciation, the little cheeky one with the scarf around his neck.
Yes.
So he then showed, Dr. Yusi showed him how to do the healing. And then there was a Mrs. Heiwa Takata, and she's the lady that brought it to the West. She's the one that brought Dr. Yusi's teachings in that to Europe. But being a woman, she was also a very good organizer, because at this point, with Dr. Yusi, he didn't actually do any structure as far as the attunements are concerned. He didn't necessarily put the symbols and that into the, he probably did it in the auric field. He didn't do it into the individual chakras to wake somebody up. So this lady, Mrs. Takata, she's the one then that helped all of us have some structure and to have some training and to do through the different levels of doing with the Reiki. And she then, because in years gone by, you didn't need qualifications, you didn't need pieces of paper and all this sort of thing. But as Mrs. Decatur realised, for us to be taken seriously, there needs to be some sort of structure, and then it needs to be some sort of discipline for people to honour it, and to also know that people then have passed the initiation, the attunement, for them to be a healer. Because in years gone by, there would have been a lot of con artists and people saying, oh, I'm going to heal you and all this sort of thing, what have you. And not long ago, I think it was during lockdown, there was a lady in America that was, yes, it was in lockdown. She was selling distant healing to people around the world, saying that she could heal them from cancer. And she got prosecuted and she ended up in jail. And this, so you can't do that, and we'd never do that anyway. Saying that, I've had patients in remission, clients, and I know if you can heal the mind and empower the person to feel positive, you can then help the rest of the body. So I know that as a fact, but and like when I did that Practice Nurse magazine article, I was saying about cancer, I feel cancer is triggered through stress. Not always, but if somebody's really stressed, invariably cancer, because it's the own body's cells fighting their own body, that it can be triggered by stress. And I know other nurses and that say that to me and that as well. But we're not allowed to officially say that. We can hint at it. So we've got to be careful what to do. So this lady was really naughty by saying that. So Dr. Yusi then, with Mrs. Decatur, then managed to bring it all around the world. And I know all around the world, in all different countries and that, they're doing Reiki, and it is really renowned as a healing system through many cultures and many different, countries. And one of my other ladies, Dawn, who's a student, she went to somewhere, like I think it's Indonesia, and she went on one of these Jeep safaris, and one of the Jeeps broke down, and they ended up in a village, and she saw these ladies doing healing on each other on these steps. And even though she couldn't speak their language, they couldn't speak English, she went across and they started doing healing on each other. Now, how special is that? That even though you can't communicate, you can communicate through your hands and through doing healing, which is beautiful and lovely, I think, for it to, for that to happen. And that's going to be a memory that she'll always remember, with it. Now, with us doing healing, Harry, we must also realise, for us to bring down universal energy, and we can bring energy from the angels, energy from, celestial beings, we can bring this energy down, but we must be anchored. For us to be anchored, like we taught with the crystal healing, you need to be grounded. Because if you're not grounded, you're like this and what have you, you're not going to then be able to bring in the energy as strongly to then channel it. And I like to use a pendulum, which I know that you've used a pendulum before, to use a pendulum, because we don't know how long we need to stand there to be grounded. If we're then doing it ahead, which you can do it in your head, but it might mean we haven't done it thoroughly enough, or only grounded one side of us and not the other side. So using a pendulum ensures that we're bringing the energy in. So I like to use a crystal pendulum to make sure we ground ourselves. So before we do healing on ourselves, before we do healing on other people, we need to make sure that we are grounded so we can bring the healing in. Yeah. And the other important thing, as you know, through doing the crystal healing, we need to also make sure that we've got protection around us. Now, protecting our energy and shielding our energy ensures that we're not going to be picking up somebody else's sadness, somebody else's grief, somebody else's anger. Even if somebody's got a bad back, we don't want to then pick up backache and bad pain, from the person, because we're healing them. And really, when we do any sort of healing on ourselves, which you'll be doing today, or any healing on other people, you're clearing them of negative energy. And negative energy isn't to say it's anything nasty, but negative energy is any sort of heavy energy, any dark energy, which I say could be sadness, it could be grief, it could be guilt. The guilt is a common one. It could be backache, it could be, I don't know, a sore throat or something like that. And by shielding ourselves, we're making sure that we are keeping ourselves safe for any heavy energy. Because remember, that with the healing, that if you don't protect yourself, you may start then to get a headache or something like that. So I remember seeing clients that come to me, and even students, that's fact, that do reflexology, and they're not taught about protection. And of course, where does negative energy come out? It comes out of the feet, doesn't it? So that's why we need to shield ourselves. I know you already understand a bit about this anyway, because you're doing the crystals, which is really lovely. We're doing the crystal healing and that's as well. Do you still do the crystal healing, do you, Harry?
I must admit, not really, dear. That's something that I like to revisit, actually.
Yeah.
I think I could start on my family first to revisit that. I've got the folder, not with me here, it's in Wales, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. as I say, I think with COVID, it's really, I've been up and down, I would say.
Yeah,
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 I was
yeah,
lost at some point, and I went really, really, really low and all that kind of thing. And yeah, but I'm glad now. I'm out of it. I'm out
yeah,
of it. Yes, that's
yeah,
why I thought, okay, I want to do something else. I
yeah,
want to do something like that's
yeah.
why I approached you with the Reiki, because I knew
Yes,
you did all sort of courses before.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. But you know, with the yoga, Harry, they do yoga on Zoom like we're doing now.
Yeah, I do. I could actually. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, you'd have
could.
to have the camera further away,
Yeah.
so you then can do all the different positions and people are watching you. But it's
Yeah.
quite common now, quite popular to do yoga on Zoom.
On Zoom, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the music though? Because sometimes when you play music, it doesn't get transmitted properly. You know, sometimes when you
No,
get
no, you probably do.
relaxation.
Well, you probably could get the students to play their own music in their own home.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that's how they get round it. But yes, but you are right. If you play music, people we can't hear it.
Yeah.
But when I've done it, so when I've done the meditation classes and that, I've got them to do the music in their own home. Because they can still hear you, like you can hear
Yeah.
me, but
Yeah.
then in the background they've got their own music, haven't they?
Yeah. That's a good idea. Thank
So
you.
you can do that,
Yeah.
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 You can do that.
Thank you.
And like you could do it like once a month or once a week or
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that, can't you? You know.
That's right. I used to do once a month in Wales. People come to the house, you see. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
But
I'll
then you
definitely
can
look
put it,
into it.
well, you know, worldwide, literally. And of course, the thing is as well, a few people have said to me that they prefer it in their own home because they haven't got to drive home. Like one of my ladies came last week. I know it was for healing, but she has distant healing. But she actually came to me in person and she said, well, the only thing is now, she said, that was lovely, but I've got to drive home. Whereas, of course, when you're doing it at home, they can go to sleep and you're doing
Yes.
yoga in their own home and all that sort of thing,
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
you? You
it's
know,
true
it's
actually.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
You
Yeah,
know,
I will. Thank you.
especially when it's raining or snowing and what have you. You
Yeah.
know, it's nice, isn't it? So you understand about the grounding and the protection, don't you?
Yeah,
Understand
I
about that?
do. I do. Yes,
That's
I
good.
do. But you know, in your folder here, you have a certain way of doing grounding here,
Yeah.
isn't it? You mentioned about picturing the roots coming through you from underneath your feet going into the earth, right, and feeling the energy of the earth bringing up again, isn't
Yes.
it? That's
Yeah.
that's your that's is that how they teach for Reiki, or that's generally anyway? You
Well,
can ground anyway.
that's general.
Ah,
Like, a lot of people do that generally anyway.
right.
So, you know, if
Okay.
you're doing crystal healing, if you're doing meditation, you know, that's how you do it. But saying that, with using a pendulum, you can then feel it. The energy of the pendulum, it will bring you down anyway. So you don't necessarily have to think about roots or think about coming up. But using the pendulum, they'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So basically, like with the pandemic, if I remember last time when you used to teach crystal healing, you turn it round. Is it clockwise?
No, you just hold it. Just
Oh,
hold
just
it,
hold it.
and just say to them, "Can they then please, you know, ground you?" And you'll
Ah,
find it'll go in a circle for you.
okay. Because I remember one of the instance you like a vortex, and you say step into the vortex.
Yes, yes, you can do
I
that. Yeah,
remember once you showed like the pendulum swinging round, and it create a vortex. Then you step into the vortex.
yeah, you can
Do you
do. Yes,
remember?
yeah, but the vortex
You can do that
usually
as
that
well.
you can do that, but often that's to clear your auric field. So if you create it with your pendulum, then step in it, is to then to clear your aura. But to actually ground you, you want to come
Ah,
down, so you spiral down.
I see.
Yeah, but
Okay,
that's
all right, thank you.
and the thing is with the pendulum, you'll find it do a yes and you'll do a no. Then you
Yes,
just
yes,
hold it and don't move it, and it will just
yeah,
move on its own when it's grounding you and then putting protection around you.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And it stopped once it's done anyway.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. Yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah,
Thank
and you'll
you.
be able to feel that as well, Harry, because you can't because the pendulum's quite small. You might not be able to see it very well, but you'll feel it when it's stopped. You'll be able
Okay.
to feel that, so that'd be
Okay.
fine with that
All right,
there.
great. Thank you.
Now, another thing is as well, when we're doing healing, we can ask for colours to be placed around ourselves and around clients to help their energy field or their auric field. So, for instance, gold, as we know, is the protective one. So, put gold in the aura, and we always finish with gold. But if somebody's poorly or somebody's got, I don't know, period pain, bad back, I don't know, they're getting over an operation or something like that, you can ask for green. And green is really good. And green is often a common or popular colour that they use in hospitals and they use in clinics and this sort of thing, because it's very pleasing to the eye. But green is a really healing energy to help people recover and help the auric field to help the person then get better. Now, if you've got somebody that's got a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, silver is really good to place around the person, because silver then converts any heavy energy into white light. So silver's really good. And even if you walk into a room and somebody's had an argument, you can ask for silver to fill that room up, so it then disperses all the argument energy when somebody's been upset. Now, another favourite I've got, of course, is pink. And pink, it brings in love. Now, everybody needs a bit of love, because with pink, if they then feel love, they feel safe. And that's why it's quite nice to have some rose quartz in the bedroom to help you sleep. Because if you then bring love into the energy of the bedroom, you then feel safe, or the person feels safe, and they're going to fall asleep. So that's really good in that for them. What's another one? Yellow. Yellow. Oh, sorry, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just reaching out for my water, dear. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Sorry, darling. No, you're right. You've got yellow, which is easy to remember, because yellow is to do with sunshine, that it then brings in happiness. So yellow is a really good one to have. Now, with you and I and any spiritual people, if you and I walked into a crowded room, if we went to a spiritual event, we'll be glowing a lot of white light. And if we're going a lot of white light, sometimes it's best to hide it so we don't then feel drained from other people then wanting our energy. And that's another reason that you need to put your bubble around you. So purple is a really lovely one to wear, because it strengthens your auric field with purple, but also it hides your glowing white light. And like, I've got purple on now, and I always wear purple when I'm doing attunements, because again, I'm honouring the energy, wearing purple and what have you. Now, if you're busy and you're rushing around, you haven't got a lot of time to do all the different colours, you can ask for rainbow energy to come in. And rainbow energy is lovely because it brings in a bit of everybody's energy. But then if you do use any of these colours, always finish with gold, because gold seals in. Gold is the most protective.
So before you use the colors, I remember you mentioned you start with gold, whatever colors you want, and then you end with gold. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah, I would do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do. So when you're doing your client or doing yourself, and even when you're cleansing a room, if a room's been a bit sad or anything, you can bring the colours in, and then you can ask for gold above the gold pyramid above the room, and one underneath the room, if you remember. If it's with you and I, because we're walking around, we then can have gold in a bubble because we're walking. But if it's something not walking, like a room or a house, then we do a gold pyramid above it and a gold pyramid below it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all in your folder, and
Yes,
also
yes.
you've got the video in that then as well.
Yes. Okay.
I've put in there about aura colours, on page 16, but not many people can see colours until they've done the masters, and you might not be able to see them anyway.
I don't see colors myself normally.
No,
I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. You might just sort of imagine them or whatever with them.
Right.
And now
Sorry, you were saying that we bring in the colors. You basically think, or you say quietly to yourself when you bring in the colors.
You can either think it, you can either say to yourself, you can even use your pendulum if you want to. It's whatever feels comfortable.
Okay.
And like when we then are doing the wand, if we're doing like not distant healing, we're doing crystal healing, you can imagine using the wand and then just saying, can you also do this with gold to seal it in? Or you can imagine, as you're beaming in, which we'll be using Reiki, which we're doing later, you can imagine beaming in green or beaming in yellow, or you can, whatever feels comfortable. The main thing is, Harry, is our intention. And our intention is what we think, what we say, and what we do.
Okay.
So whatever you feel comfortable to do.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fine, my lovely. Now, with the attunements or the initiations that we do, we then are increasing the vibrational energy of the human body, but also of the spiritual body. So with attunements, it's really special because not only does it help the human being, not Harry, but also it helps your soul and your higher self to lift the vibration up. And that's why you'll find that some spiritual people, if they like to do readings or mediumship, they may not necessarily use Reiki to do healing, but they'll use Reiki attunements to lift their vibration up. So the more attunements you have, because they're on different levels, the higher your vibration will go. So today, you've got your attunement, which is the Reiki 1, which wakes you up as a human, but also wakes you up spiritually. And that's why then we do the distant healing. We do the self-healing. We're doing that then for 21 days, and we're doing it for 3 weeks, 21 days, to honour what Dr. Yusi did with him doing meditation on top of the mountain. And then after the 21 days, like 3 weeks or a month or 2 months, that then, if you feel that you want to, you then can learn how to do healing on other people. Because if you think about it, if you've got any sadness, if you've got any guilt or any hurt, and you started now doing healing on somebody else, you'll be passing on your feelings to other people, won't you? And that's why you do self-healing for 21 days to help release any old emotion or any old stuff from a past lifetime or when you've been a young girl or whatever, because then you're going to be more pure and more cleansed for you then to do healing on other people. I'm only saying that, Harry, because some Reiki teachers will say to you when you've done your Reiki 1 that you then can do healing on other people, that you then can do healing on friends and family. I was never suggest it. Because the whole point of Reiki 1 and doing self-healing is giving yourself a spiritual cleanse or giving yourself a spiritual bath or a spiritual wash. And if you're washing away and getting rid of stuff, you don't want to pass it on to other people, do you?
No, of course. Yeah, true.
So the Reiki 1 that you're doing today is going to be for you. So it's about you, Harry, being selfish. So you're going to be there concentrating on yourself, whether you're doing meditation, doing self-healing. I'll explain more about it in a little bit while. And it's going to be for you personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then when you decide that you want to do other people, that's entirely up to you, then you can then do your Reiki too. Now, today, you'll be given a symbol later, which is going to help you with your healing. You'll also be able to do it in your water because you've got some water. So don't drink all your water. Save some of your water for later.
Okay.
Yeah. And we put the symbol in the water so you can taste the difference in that as well. And this symbol that I'll be giving you later, you can also do on people's photographs, and I'll explain that a little bit later in that as well. Then Reiki 2, which is the practitioner, where you then have another attunement, you can then start doing healing on the people. You'll be given 2 symbols. One will be helping with the emotion, and one will be helping where you can do distant healing. And if ever in the future you then want to be a master, a Reiki master, that then is where you're working with the masters, the ascended masters, and you're channeling different healing and what have you with them. And also where you're helping with karma from past lifetimes and helping clients with past lifetimes. And any karma, if there's anything happened to them when they've been a little boy or a little girl, and in the past. And that's why we help with karma and that with it, that there. So your attunement today, what I need to do is, I need to ask you in a minute, is for you to close your eyes and to put your hands like that on your lap, not just yet, that's it, but on your lap. And because I will then be projecting the energy to you. But before we start, I'm going to ask you to feel your own energy with your hands. So if you put your hands up like that, yeah, and make sure, by the way, when we're channeling it, that you always have your fingers together. But if you don't have your fingers together, you'll see that the energy escapes through your fingers. So you always have your fingers together. So if you then very gently just move your hands, just a very gentle in and out, like almost like a gentle pat cake, but very gently. So you probably won't feel much at the moment. Can you feel
I can
anything?
feel it, yeah.
You
Yeah, I
feel
can feel.
something? Okay,
I can feel between my two,
right.
between the two, yeah, between the two space here.
Okay. Well,
I,
after your attunement, you will feel it stronger.
yeah.
And you'll feel it probably more tingly or what have you then as well. So that's good
Yeah.
that you can feel something. And that shows as well that you've got the natural ability to heal people.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
with it.
Okay.
Now, so before we start, do you need to go and spend a penny? Do you need to go to the toilet?
How long will it take?
It'll take about 10 minutes.
No, I'll be fine. Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
All right then. So if you put your hands now on your lap. Oh, by the way, do you want to remove your glasses? You don't have to. No, you don't have to. It's up to you. No, you're fine. You're going to leave. It won't make any difference to me.
Then I can see you better.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Well, you're going to have your eyes closed anyway because I'm going to go into meditation, and I'm going to get you to do some breathing, and you're going to do meditation, and then I will start with it. Now, because this is a sacred initiation, to honour Dr. Hughes and everybody else, I'm going to stop recording while we do it, and then I'll start recording again afterwards. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So before we start, anything you want to ask me?
I don't have to close the door, do I? My bedroom door. Yeah.
No, you'd be fine. Yeah. No, you'd be fine.
No, I think that's fine. That's it. It's
yeah,
just that I know you can't hear the dog barking, but I can hear the dogs barking. That's why.
Okay, well, go and shut the door then if you want to, Harry. Just go and, if it makes you feel more comfy.
We've got 2 dogs, you see, 2 big Alsatians.
Oh, that's sweet. I love dogs, as you know.
They are gorgeous, yeah.
I'm going to stop recording now, so if I can find it. So how do you feel now, Harry?
I feel good.
Oh, well, you are lovely. Did you see any colours?
You know what? Amazing. I saw a dragon. Red, golden, yellow dragon coming up from the ground up.
Wow.
And then suddenly it was me and the dragon. We went flying. Then the dragon changed sort of like silvery blue. Beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, I love dragons. Yeah.
They are like the Chinese dragon. They're not not the one that you find in the Disney one. It's the Chinese one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, they're very protective dragon. That's why a lot of people have them either side of the front door, or I've got a little one by our front door, and I've got one at the caravan. I've got one by the gate as well. The one there, yeah.
This is the first time, you know.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, they are. Right. Like some people use the foo dogs, don't they, or lions and that. But a lot of people have dragons.
I didn't know that actually. I've heard of people with dragon energy, but this is the first time. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all right, my lovely. You're very welcome, and thank you for choosing me to share this special moment with you.
Thank you. Yeah. I knew one day I'll be doing something else with you.
Well, even when we move to Wales, I'll still be about. You know what I mean? So what I'd like you to do now, Harry, then, is to put your hands like we did before, open them out there, and then just to very gently just cake them. I call it pat cake, just very gently. Can you feel it feels different? Does it feel more rubbery or bouncy?
Yeah, it does more bouncy,
yeah. And if you hold them still a second, let's just see if you feel any more tingly on the tips of your fingers.
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. My whole hands actually. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, well, don't waste it. Put one hand on your heart and then one hand on your tummy.
Okay, yeah.
That's
In fact, funny, sometimes when I do yoga,
yes,
it happens automatically, one on my heart and one down below here.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it just happens automatically. I do let my body do what it feels in it. My hands move around and all
Yeah.
that. But this is the position.
Mm-hmm.
Normally,
Yeah.
is the position, these two position, and I never knew why. I thought maybe it needed some healing for those two chakras.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, believe it or not, that's a mini healing session. So if you
Aha.
wanted to give yourself some healing, you can just put one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy. I'll
Yeah.
explain a little bit in a minute how to do like, and then when you're finished, put your hands together like in
Yeah.
prayer, and I say thank you.
Thank you.
And that's almost like switching it off, but it isn't. It's just saying thank you. And if you
Ah.
want to, like we do with crystalline, you can disconnect and reclaim.
So
Disconnect
disconnect and
and then
reclaim.
reclaim. Yeah, I always think that's
Ah.
useful to do
Okay.
that with Reiki and to do that with crystal healing, because you just, well, it's just because if you're then doing another client,
Yes.
it's not mixing all the energy up or anything, is it? So it's quite nice to do that.
Yeah. But when you say if you do with a healing another client, don't you have to re cleanse the room again or what?
Well, you'll find if you've done the gold pyramid above and a gold
Uh-huh.
pyramid underneath, that will then keep the energy in that room nice and keep it contained because you've got the gold pyramid above and below. And also because you're grounding yourself and protecting yourself, grounding and protecting your clients is not going to leak into the room.
Ah.
And another thing, if you remember, which we do with Reiki and we do with crystal healing, you've got the 3 hematite that you put under the feet,
Yes.
under the bed or under the chair, and
Yes.
also that
That's
keeps
right.
any sort of like residual energy, if you like, leaking into the room, and it's like a waste paper basket, so it like keeps it contained. So that's fine with it. I mean, okay, if you then doing this outside, which would be lovely to do it outside on a beach or in a wood, it will just then evaporate into nature, and nature will just get rid of it.
Okay.
But if you're doing your own home, that's when we do the gold pyramid above and below. So
Right.
that's nice to do that.
Yeah.
Now with your Reiki, you may find different areas of your body might feel different to you. And these different areas could feel warm in one place and cold in another. Now, generally speaking, if somewhere's cold and tingly, that means it's healthy and it's nice and it's okay. Like, for instance, you won't need to do your third eye because your third eye to me looks really good. And I always say, remember I did it with crystals, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yes.
So if it's
Yes.
fine, leave it alone. It's all
Yeah.
right. Don't mess with it. But then if you do another area, maybe with your heart, you might feel that's warm because you're giving out loads of love to everybody else, but don't always reserve any love for you. So if you're giving it to everybody else, that might feel warm. It may mean if you've got a poorly knee, that your one knee might feel cold, because that's fine. But then your poorly knee will feel hot because it's poorly. Now, for you to feel that, what I'm going to do is now, Harry, I'm going to channel some energy towards you, and you're going to tell me how it feels. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do how it feels healthy, how it feels good. So, if you put your hands up like that towards me, that's it. Oh, I can feel all the cool and tingling. Can you feel that?
I can feel the tingling. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't move your hands. Keep them in that place. I'm just going to go like, right now, I'm going to pretend to be injured. So does that feel warm, or does that feel like more pressure, or
More pressure.
more pressure? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's poorly. Right. Okay. Now I'm going to be healthy again. So it should feel nice and tingly and what have you.
Yeah. More
Yeah.
tingly.
Tingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, my hands want to move towards you. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Now I'm going to pretend to be poorly. So it could be a blocked chakra. It could be an injured area. So how does that feel? Feel more resistance? Heavier?
Yeah. Yeah. Heavier. Heavier.
Okay. Heavier.
Yeah. Heavier.
Okay. Thank you. Bless you. Right. If you do that, say thank you.
Thank you.
So with your pen, if you want to write down on page, I've got page 22 here. I don't know if you've got 22.
In fact, my husband we didn't label any pages. So which one is that?
Oh, it's at the Oh, right, okay. It's at the bottom, but you might not see it because it's tiny. It's where it's got sensing energy changes, and it's got two hands with a ball in the middle.
Oh, yes. They call it sensing Reiki.
Yes, that's it. Sensing energy change. Yes, that's it.
This one.
Yeah. Oh no, it's the next page.
Oh,
it's
next page.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying about it feeling hot and cold.
Oh,
Next
yes,
page.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
next
This
page.
one, right?
That's it. That's fine. Yes,
okay.
that's it. So if you look at the bottom of the page, it's got there a healthy area. How does this feel? So you felt it was a bit tingly, and you felt almost like you wanted to push your hands towards me, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So you felt it more tingly and no
Tingling
resistance.
Sensation and hands coming towards Linda. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Block chakra was more heavier.
And it was heavier, wasn't it? Yeah, and pressure. Like, yes.
More pressure.
More pressure and heavier, and you got more of a resistance, didn't you?
Heavier. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's fine. So that reminds you. So when you're doing your self-heat, which I'll show you in a little while, but you'll then feel that I need to keep my hands there more, or I then that's fine. Like your third eye, I feel fine. Like you feel that would be fine. So you just leave that alone.
Okay.
You know, if need be now, with your right hand, put your left hand on your tummy. Left hand on your tummy. Yeah. Your right hand now, just hover in front of your third eye, and you feel it feels tingly. Yeah.
Right, like it's for some reason. Okay, if I push it here. Yeah. Yeah.
So that is good energy. So that's nice energy. Yeah. Okay. So now if you go to your heart, you might find has got more resistance. Bring your hands off in the auric field. So your hand on, no, your left hand on your tummy, but your right hand about 6 inches away.
Okay.
And can you feel you've got a bit more resistance there? It's a bit more bouncy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can feel in my gut, something as well. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like it's connected, the heart and the gut for me.
Yeah. So well,
I
normally
feel emotional.
Yeah. Oh, that's not. Right. Well, normally if it's something recent, it's in your heart. If it's something old that somebody's upset you 6 years ago or 6 months ago, it'd be in your tummy.
Oh.
If it's something recent or something current, it'd be in your heart. And if it's something old, it'd be in your tummy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's generally what's speaking. Okay. So now that you've had your attunement, I'm going to then show you different energy, because say Reiki is universal energy that we then can bring in different types of Reiki, because Reiki is at the moment we're bringing it straight from God, if you like, from source. Yes. But then you can, depending if you had attunements in the future, for instance, you could have Dragon Reiki, or what we've got Angel Reiki and that here. So I'm going to show you different types of Reiki. Okay. So if you put your hands up like that. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is Kuan Yin, which is one of the Ascended Masters. And you probably find, I find it's tingly, almost buzzy.
Yeah, I love the energy of Kuan Yin. I've had Kuan Yin visited me in the past. I love her energy.
Yeah, and I think she's lovely. Yeah. Can you feel that then?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Okay. So don't waste it. Put one on your heart and one on your tummy. Yeah, that's it. That's Kuan Yin giving you a love. Now the next one is angels. Now this often feels cold and cotton wool. So if you put your hands up, it feels almost like cotton woolly. I don't mean like an itch. Cotton woolly and cold. Or
it's
cool.
Cold. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that's cold.
The cold. Yeah, I can feel I'm cold actually.
Yeah. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy, so you don't waste it. Thank you. Now the next one is Kuthumi. Now Kuthumi used to be Saint Francis of Assisi.
Oh.
So he helps animals.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Kuthumi. So and this
Saint Francis Assisi, is it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Do you mind if I just write it down?
No, not at all. It's the one, the third one down. So underneath the angels, you've got Kuthumi
of Assisi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And again, he's another master. So if ever in the future you did your masters, you'd be working with them individually.
Okay.
So the next one is Cthulhu. Now, a lot of people, and I do as well, feel this warm and heavy.
Okay.
All right. Not necessarily hot, but warmer, like room temperature.
It's warmer. Definitely,
Warmer.
it's warmer. Yeah, warmer.
And you feel it feels heavy, sort of thing, but in a nice way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a pressure on my palms. Is that what you meant? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So put one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy, so you don't waste it.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Interesting.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now the next one, thanks. The next one is Sananda. Now, he used to be Jesus, and he still is Jesus, but he's an ascended master, Sananda. And I think sometimes he probably does that to say he helps everybody. Okay. Because if you think he's Jesus, people will be thinking he only helps Christians, you know, or you know, different people that believe in him. But he helps everybody. I mean, he helps children, it helps the dying, and that. And with, I'll better show you, with this one, I feel it's almost like a pencil going down your hands. Almost like a wave. So feel it like a little bit tingly, but can you feel like a wave?
I can feel it, yeah. At first I felt my body became cold. Then when you set pencil right down, I can feel my pinky finger more.
Yes, yeah.
Right down both sides, and I can feel that pulsating on my palms.
Yes, that's it, like waves. So put one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy.
Okay.
So that is Sananda, or people like to call him Jesus, but that's Sananda.
Jesus, right.
Thank you, bless you.
Thank you.
And then the next one is Saint Germain with the violet flame. Now, the violet flame is a bit, not weird, but it's quite nice because it feels almost like the energy is dancing on your fingers. Okay. It's like a cool wave. It's like really, really lovely.
Okay.
So it's like it's moving. It's not doing the same thing.
I can feel my body moving actually a bit. Very gentle movement. My body's moving, yeah. I see what you mean by the waves. Actually, not just my hands, my body moving a bit.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's Saint Germain and the violet flames. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy. Yeah.
Okay.
Say thank you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, another one that I love is unicorns. Now, unicorns, they work with the same frequency as the angelic realms, angels. So it feels the same as angels, except with unicorns, it goes in a swirl. And because it goes in a swirl and a vortex in your hand, you have to wait for it to build up a little bit. So if you put your hands up like that, now can you feel the swirl in the palms of your hands?
Yes, the palms, yeah.
But it feels cold, doesn't it, like angels?
But yeah, and my body's, for some reason, it moves with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy. Now, because you mentioned dragons, I'm going to send dragon healing to you.
Oh, thank you.
So you can see what the dragons feel like, okay? And this often feels like bubble wrap. It's like pop, 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 pop.
Okay.
So it's like, it's not fizzy, but it's like a pop-in. I can't explain it, but...
Okay.
And you might feel it's stronger in your left hand because
you're right. You're right.
The dragons work a lot with the crystal energy, which is going your left side and out your right side.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah.
So can you feel that?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
So if you put your hands on your heart and one on your tummy,
and
then say thank you.
Yeah, I will. Oh. Thank you. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right. So that just shows that you know, Reiki is, even though it's universal energy, you can then ask for other beings and that to come and help.
They're like your guides, aren't they?
Yeah, yes,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Right.
No.
Okay.
So now I'm going to explain about self-healing.
Okay.
Now, don't forget, with Dr. Yusi, when he rediscovered it, it was in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when he first discovered it and he was doing healing, people were touching, they were doing hands-on touch.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find now that a lot of people, especially with you doing crystals that as well, work in the auric field. So you don't actually touch the client. And invariably, I find this is a lot more, how do you put it? Less distracting for a client.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you keep putting your hands over the client and touching, you're waking them up, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, traditionally, what you would do is halfway through, you turn the person over, you turn the client over. So I know you're not going to be turning the client over at the moment, because you're doing it on yourself. So it is best, again, not to touch. So when you're doing yourself, I would suggest just hovering your hands. But to start off with, is for you to touch the top of your head. Now, there's two sorts here. I've explained how I teach people to do it, because you've got to do this for 21 days. If you miss a day out, Harry, don't worry about it. It just means the next time that you do it, the next morning or the next evening, it might take you sort of 5 minutes, a little bit longer than normal. You spend a bit more time doing it. But on page 24, which you probably can see all these drawings, this is the traditional way how Dr. Yusi showed, and like touching your feet. I wouldn't be able to flipping touch my feet, not with my hips and my knees, you know what I mean? So I would suggest forgetting about that. And it's not been disrespectful to Dr. Yusi, but of course that was in the 1800s. So now what I'll do is I'm going to show you how I teach everybody else to do it, which is more comfortable. Now you can do this sitting, or you can do it lying down in bed.
Okay.
And if need be, if you've got to get up in the morning for any reason, just set your alarm clock 5 minutes earlier to do it. And it's quite nice to do it at night time because you're falling asleep anyway. So what you do is, Harry, so you're going to follow it with me. If you put your hands like that and ask for some healing, it will already come in your hands. You then put your hands on top of your head touching, but you leave a hole in the middle. Because the hole in the middle is where your crown chakra is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just lay them there just for a second. And that then is getting the energy starting to flow. I can feel my nose is starting to twitch, getting itchy nose. Now, because your third eye is fine and you don't need to worry about it, I would put one hand on your throat and one hand on your heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Then move your hands down, one hand above your belly button and one hand below your belly button. So you've got them on your tummy. So one hand above and one hand below.
Okay.
And then to complete and to finish, put both of your hands on both of your knees, so one hand on each knee.
Okay.
And that grounds your energy and brings the energy flowing down.
Okay.
And when you do self-healing, it's up to you how long you take doing it.
Okay.
You will know. And the thing is, if you do it regularly, you'll find it'll get quicker and quicker and quicker, or you're enjoying it so much that you fall asleep. So it's entirely up to you how long you take. And then to finish completely, we put our hands together to say thank you.
Thank you.
We then cross our hands over to disconnect and reclaim. That's finished.
Right.
So I'll do it again with you, and then you can do it on your own.
Okay.
So we'll start off asking for some energy in your hands.
Yeah.
Put your hands on your head, leaving a hole or a gap. One hand on your throat, one hand on your heart.
Yeah.
One hand above your belly button and one hand below your belly button. And then one hand on each of your knees. And this brings the energy flow down your legs. And then to finish, we say thank you.
Thank you.
And then to disconnect and reclaim.
Disconnect and reclaim.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Harry, if you show me then, so I know that you're okay with it.
Okay.
That's it. Put
Shall
your
I?
hands there. Yes, please. Yes. Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
So that's quite easy. Now, as I said earlier as well, if you want a quickie, I can't think what, but I don't know if you're watching the television or I don't know, you're sitting in the car waiting for somebody, you want to do a quick one, you can have some energy in your hands, put one hand on your heart and one hand on your tummy. And that's doing like a quick healing.
Okay.
I can't think that you have a sort of a stressful day and that, but you know, you can do it like more often. You don't need to do it just in the morning and evening.
Right,
You can do it during the day and that as well.
Right, okay. And you can do it anytime, anywhere, whenever you
Yeah.
feel I need it, kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I mean, it's quite nice to start you off the day, and it's quite nice then to finish off in the evening just before you fall asleep to do it.
Okay.
But
Oh,
it's
that's
entirely up
nice.
to you. And you know, and you only need to do a couple of minutes, and that's quite easy to do, and it flows.
Yes,
Whereas when
right.
Dr. UC has done the diagrams, it's a bit complicated, and I found a lot of people struggle with to think, oh, I didn't do that one. That's 2, that's 3. Oh no, I've forgotten about. And I much prefer to do it where you relax doing it.
Yes, of
It's
course.
easy to remember, and it's just going to flow, and you
Yes.
don't have to do anything too complicated.
Yes,
And like I
true.
said to you before, if it's easy, you're going to enjoy it, and don't get
That's right,
complicated.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, doing
And
that there.
also, and also I believe that sometimes, as I said, sometimes when I do yoga, my hands move wherever it needs to be healed for some
Yes.
reason.
Yes.
And your hands will move wherever it needs to move as well. That's how I
Yes.
believe.
Yes,
Isn't it?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it might even be that you've got a poorly knee, that you leave your hands there a little bit longer on your poorly knee.
Yeah,
You know, it's entirely up
exactly.
to you,
Yeah,
whatever
true.
you feel to do. But that's easy. You've got any
Yeah,
questions about that?
No, not really. Actually, no. That's good. Actually,
Yeah.
and when you say self healing that I've got to do, is today counting as number 1 or no?
Yes.
Tomorrow with
Yeah.
the first
No,
one. So
today's
today,
number one. Number
number
one.
1.
Yeah. Yeah. Number one.
Is it once a day or twice a day
Ideally
or just whatever?
Well, really, whatever. I mean,
Twice
in
a
an
day.
ideal world, it'd be quite nice to do it twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. But if you can't, don't worry about it.
And
You know,
evening.
if you can do it every day, that'll be fine.
All right.
You know, and to also help with this self healing,
all
if you
right.
wanted to write a journal, or if you wanted to type something out on the computer, you can do, and that's quite nice to do like a journal for yourself. But you don't need to. You know, that's entirely up to you. But certainly the self-healing is beautiful because you can do it any time and anywhere. So
Yes.
I don't know if you're sitting on a bench in the middle of the park, or sitting on a bench on top of the hill or something like that, or by the river. You know, that'd be nice.
Yeah, what I like is that because we live near the forest, sometimes I just like sitting on the ground against the tree And I find that it's just not only grounding, it's also nature heals us, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
What's the name? Judy Dench. She did that program where they had this instrument that could listen to the sound that trees made and plants made. And
Ah.
because of the water going up and down them, and what, because of living, they make different sounds. And some of the sounds
Oh.
are like an orchestra and all that, and like heavenly energy and music. It's beautiful.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it? Well, when did she do that? I didn't know about that.
To have to Google it. I don't
Ah.
know if it's on here, but let's have a look. I'm sure it was Judy Dench. Let me just Judy Dench, sounds from trees.
Ah.
Yeah, there's quite a few videos here.
Okay,
I've
not to
got
worry.
them. Yeah,
I'll Google and find out then.
yeah. Oh, if she's there, I don't know if I can send it.
It's okay. I'll Google and find out.
Yeah, that's it. WhatsApp. I've got it here for you. Now, what I'm going to show you is now a symbol that we use
Yeah.
in Reiki, and this is called the chakra ray.
Yeah.
I've just sent it you, so you've got it.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
That's all right. And the chakra ray is where you increase the power of Reiki.
Okay.
Now, with the chakra ray symbol, you sign it 3 times, and it's a really easy one to sign because you do it as a number 7 and a swirl going the way round. So if you hover your hand over the black symbol, can you see it on page 27? Can you see a black, like a number 7 over the swirl?
Yes. This one, right?
That's it, yeah. If you hover your hand around about 6 inches above it, and then slide your hand to the right, so past it, and then to the left, you'll feel the energy of the symbol itself.
Okay.
So if you hover the hand over the symbol, feel its energy, then slide your hand left and right.
Yeah.
You feel it?
Yeah, the tingling sensation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I deliberately did it in black because, you know, black's not a very good colour and it lowers the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done it in black to impress how strong and powerful this symbol is.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah, because of course it's very protective. Now, because it increases the energy of Reiki, we can sign it 3 times over an injured area. So if, say, you've got a poorly knee, you can sign it 3 times over the poorly knee and then gently push it in. Like with you, because with your heart, you can sign it 3 times in front of your heart and then pull it in, or you can sign it 3 times over the top of your heart and push it in. It's up to you. Now, how we sign it, Harry, is we imagine our middle finger, our big finger, is a pencil.
Oh.
Yeah, but we still have to keep our hands flat.
Yeah.
Because we don't want the energy escaping. So before you start to sign it, I want you to gently pat a cake the air in front of you where you are now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you shouldn't really feel anything.
I can feel it, the sensation on my
Oh,
hands.
it might still be in your hands. So if you look down at the symbol, you see it's a number 7, and then you've got a swirl.
Yes.
So I want you now to do 3 little ones in front of you. So where your hand is now, draw them 3 times. It's number 7, not too big, a bit smaller. That's it, and then a swirl. That's it. Then another one, a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's better. Yeah. And then a third one. So you always draw symbols in 3s. Now hold your hand there and feel how strong that is.
It's drawing me in.
Yeah. Now slide your hand to your right, so you go away from it. Slide your hand to the right towards the door. Keep going, keep going. Right, feel the fresh air there. Feel the fresh air. You won't be able to feel the energy unless there's a little bit on your hand.
I still a bit on my hand.
A little bit. Right, now come back to where you've signed it.
It's on the left side of my hand.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's stronger.
Now,
Yeah,
now
it's
feel
stronger
it
there.
stronger.
Yeah.
Feel how strong that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
it
put
is.
your
I see what you mean.
hand behind it and pull it towards your heart. So slide your hand to the right if you like. Put your hand behind it.
So,
Slide your hand to the right towards the door.
mhm,
Now put your hand, stretch your hand
yes.
out towards me,
Yeah.
and then put
Or
your hand
towards you.
behind it. No, behind it, and bring it in. So that energy now, imagine a ball of energy there. You're going to bring it into
Do
your
I turn my
heart. So
hand towards, yeah,
yeah, turn
turn my hand
towards
towards
you,
me?
towards you. Yeah, that's it, and bring it into your
Okay.
heart.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Why
because you're
is it that, why is it when
yeah.
I've done the symbol, why can't I just bring it straight into my heart?
Yes, you
What?
can do, but it's best to do 3 of them together.
Okay. 3 of them
And then
together, then
do
bring them to your heart.
yeah,
Ah,
because it makes
okay.
it stronger rather than doing it individually. So
All
we always
right.
do
Okay.
symbols 3. Saying that, like you can now, is put your hand like it's over your heart and just sign 3 of them above your heart.
Oh, but I'll be signing upside down, like
No, it
sideways. Am
doesn't.
I
Just
right?
yes, sideways. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, as long as it's number 7, and then do the swirl. Do 3 of
Yeah.
them.
And then push it in, right?
And hold it in. Yeah.
Yeah, hold it in.
So
I see.
this chakra. So say chakra for me.
It's
Chakra.
shukure.
Chakra, that's it,
Yeah.
chakra, yeah.
Shukure.
This chakra increases the power of the Reiki, makes it stronger. So we can use this to heal people. We can use this also over our doors.
Okay.
So if you want to, if you'd like the front door, you can then sign 3 chakra over the door. Even though I know the door's going to open and close, you can stand upstairs in your bedroom window and you can sign 3 chakra to the car and push it towards the car.
Oh, right.
If you've got a photograph of somebody that needs help for any reason, you can sign 3 chakra above the photograph and push it into the photograph.
Okay, but you got to let them know though you're doing it, right?
No.
Oh, you don't have to tell them that you're good doing it. Oh.
No. Yeah, because the thing is, you might have the person say, "No, I don't need healing," but then the soul is saying, "Yes, she does," or "Yes, he does." So, because when we do healing, we're also healing the soul as well as helping the human being.
But what I call is that, is it okay for me to do it without the knowledge, even though I feel they need it or he or she needs it? But then again, isn't there like sometimes they have to go through whatever they are going through for their learning sake. If I interfere, when I interrupt that, that's what I was asking. Do I need to ask permission?
Well, I always think, Harry, if you feel they need it, then do it because that's your intuition.
So guys or anything like that. How would you go about?
Well, you just do it with the photograph. Oh,
connection is unstable.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I can still hear you all right.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. You come back again. Yeah. But you can just do it with the photograph, or if you're sending them a letter or a birthday card, you can do it in the birthday card. If you then give somebody a teddy bear, you can sign it 3 times in the teddy bear and give them a teddy bear.
Oh, interesting.
Or even a present. If you give somebody a present, you can sign it 3 times on the present, push it into the present. Like you see your pillow that you've got now to your right there. See that pillow? Right. Yeah. If you pick your pillow up, place it on your lap. Yeah. Just hover both of your hands over the top of the pillow. You won't feel anything. Yeah. Right. Just leave your left hand above the pillow. So your left hand, so you're pushing energy in. Keep that like that and don't move it. Now with your right hand now sign 3 chakra into the pillow.
At the side of it, at the side of my left hand.
Your right hand sign 3 chakra. That's 1. 2. 3. Now gently with both hands, just gently push it into the cushion and maybe put your hand on the cushion and seal it in. and then go like that. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Disconnect and reclaim. Right, now slide your hands about 6 inches over the top of it and just feel the energy of the pillow. You feel it tingling. Like there now. If you stop there, can you feel that there?
Yeah, right. Yes, now I can. Now I
Yeah.
can. Yes, now I can. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've got somebody coming round to yours that's very upset or
Yeah.
needs some help,
Yeah.
and before they arrive, and you might not even know which chair they're going to sit in, you can do 3 chakra at the back of the chair, 3 chakra where they sit, where the bottom goes, and 3 chakra on the floor. So you can do, do the chakra on all the seats in your house if you want to. Also, if you then, I don't know, if you've got something that you're worrying about or anybody else's, you can sign 3 chakra on the pillow where they sleep. So they can have 3 chakra that you've signed on the pillow where they sleep, and you can also sign it down the bed if you want to as well. So the chakra,
because
yeah,
my daughter, she's finished the course, but she's looking for a job, and she's finding it very difficult. She's not been sleeping for a while now. I could do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Without her knowing as well.
Yes, you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
And that's amazing. And I've probably told you before, when you want something like she wants a job, is to word it that I now have the job I enjoy that looks after me. Now, looking after you could be to do with hours. Looking after you could be it's not too far from home. Looking after you is paying the money that you need. So if you say, I now have a job that looks after me, and I gratefully receive it, write it on a piece of paper and burn it in a candle.
Okay, I'll let her know. She had got to write it herself, right?
Yeah, she's got to write it herself.
Yeah.
And then burn it in the candle. And so write it, that's one, because you're thinking about it, writing it, and then say it out loud, and then burn it in the candle, and you're sending it up to the angels. So say something like, I now have the job that looks after me. That's sort of, just keep it simple. And I have a job that looks after me. So it's a job you enjoy in that. So the chakra you can do anywhere to anybody that needs any help, and to the animals.
Yes, I've got 2 dogs. In fact, one of them keeps scratching the ear, and taken to the vet so many times they can't see anything. So I could try and do that on his ears as well. Right?
Does his one ear feel hot, and the other one's all right?
I haven't tried it, so I need to check first.
Because of course, especially with German Shepherds, they have hairy ears.
Oh.
So sometimes they can have like wax. Don't forget, I used to be a veterinary nurse for 20 years.
Okay, of course.
So they can have hairy ears, in which case they can end up, especially if you go on the beach, if you're near the beach, probably not near the beach, but it can end up with sand. Like we have to be careful with our dogs. Well, I've only got the one now, but both of them, if they get sand in their ears from the beach, with that there. But the chakra you can do everywhere and anywhere that you want. But when you do it 3 times. Try not to do it too big, because remember when you first did it really big, because you want it concentrated.
Okay.
Right, now what I'd like you to do is to take a sip of your water and just notice how it tastes and how it tastes when you swallow it.
Okay.
Yep. Right, with your right hand, but you have to make sure that your palm, because that's where the energy comes out, is above your water. So that's it. Now, so if you do 3 baby, because you have to do 3 tiny chakras into your water.
I push it in?
No, push it in or flick it in. I normally flick it in. I mean, if you're doing it for somebody else, well, not that you wash your hands anyway. Excuse me. Now taste it. See if it tastes any different. Sometimes you find it tastes a bit more chalky.
I don't like Birmingham water anyway.
No, I don't. No. Oh, no, Welsh water's lovely.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
it tastes awful. Worse than the first one. Yeah.
Well, you can try that on your husband and try that on your daughter.
Okay, I will. Honestly, I love water, but after doing that, how come It tastes.
It's because they have the lime pits. So we have a lot of lime in our water, and it's over in Staffordshire normally, where they've got the lime underground. It's chalky. So of course it fills it with water, and that's where they get water from. But saying that, actually in Birmingham itself, they have their water from Wales.
Yeah, but still, it's not the same, darling.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah, because we get our water from borehole.
Oh, yeah. Well, in that case, then that's from Staffordshire then. So that's the lime. Yeah. And it clogs up all your taps and everything else. So it's not very nice. Yeah, not very good water. No, the Welsh water's lovely.
I know it is actually, yeah.
Now, if, say, for instance, which hopefully not, if you end up going to a police station, if you end up going to a funeral or somewhere that's a bit sad, you can also use the chakra to protect yourself.
Okay. How do I do that?
Well, this is where you sign it 3 times on the floor.
Oh, okay.
You stand on it. So you're standing up, you sign, you don't have to bend down and touch the floor. Stand up, sign it 3 times, push it to the floor, stand on it, and then sign 3 in front of you.
Okay.
And then to the left of you, behind you, to the right, and come back to the front. So you've sealed it in. You have to turn around.
When you say behind, you have to turn around. Yeah.
Turn around, right, But where you sign it to the front of you to begin with, if you think about it, you've got to then also come back to the front to sign it again to seal it in. If you don't, you end up with a gap, don't you?
What about the top?
Yes, and then I was going to say, then to finish, you sign 3 above your head.
Right. And okay, start from here, left, right, turn around, left, right, and then do the front again,
front, and then
finish with the top. Okay.
Yeah, I've got it on page 29, so you can make yourself a box.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got a box then.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And another beautiful, beautiful thing as well, that you can do this now in any room. In a bedroom, especially if your daughter's a bit worried about a job and what have you, or there again, if you spend a lot of time in the lounge, you can then sign it in all the corners of the room.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is when you sign it for yourself in a box, or when you sign it in the corners of the room, you don't flick your hands because you keep the energy the same. So you sign it 3 times in the corner, and then you move your hand, and then sign 3 times in the corner, then move your hands again. If you flick, you're disconnecting, or if you're going like that, you're disconnecting the energy.
Right.
So don't flick, don't disconnect the energy, because you want it to be like a ribbon.
Okay.
You want it to be a flow.
Yeah.
So you do all the 4 corners, you do the ceiling and the floor, exactly the same as if you were doing yourself, if you like.
Okay.
And that is lovely to do in a healing room, to do in your prayer room, to do in your bedroom, a lounge, and that's why you can end up getting really beautiful and lovely energy to make sure you've created like a spiritual box, so you've got lovely energy there, so you've got healing energy that's in the room. Now, how often you do this is entirely up to you, because it depends if you've got like a grumpy teenager, I don't know. If you've got somebody that's really sad and upset at the moment, you might want to do it more often, like once a week. If you've got a lovely area like in Wales, you might only need to do it once a month or once every 6 months. That's entirely up to you. If, say, you've gone into a workplace or somewhere there that there's been a lot of disagreements and people then have left the room, it's quite good then to do the room after they've left, to cleanse the room. But you do it in all the corners, with it. So you can either do it for yourself, that you then sign it on the floor 3 times, stand on it, do it all the way around you, but you have to turn, and then finish above your head. And remember, where you start is where you finish. So if you start at the front of you, that is where you finish. If you start in the left-hand corner above the wardrobe, you then finish in the left-hand corner of the wardrobe. So you're sealing it in. I've got in the diagram on page 20, because if you've then not started and stopped where you've finished, start and finish, you then end up with a gap. So it's almost like you've got to close the gate. So you close the gate by or finishing the ribbon energy all the way around. Have you got any questions on that?
Yeah, I was just about to ask, when you said about the pyramid for the house, right? if I do the pyramid first, or I do the rooms, individual rooms first, and then finish with the pyramid of the house. Let's say if I want to protect the whole house.
I personally would do the pyramids first,
Uh-huh.
and then do your chakra in all the corners wherever you need them, because the pyramid's going to keep your energy in your home as you've left it. So if it's nice energy, it's going to always be nice energy. You haven't got any grumpy energy coming from the neighbours, or you know, if the postman's had a bad day or something like that. So it's keeping the energy nice in your home by using the pyramids, and then you're enforcing the nice energy by doing the chakra in the corners.
Okay.
You can even do chakra on plants. So if you've got a poorly plant, you can do the chakra. Paul, my husband, and I did that. We had a competition, my brother and my mom, and we was growing sunflowers, and they were doing really well, but it got so big that I put it out in the garden, and we lost because the slugs ate it. But we was doing the chakra on one, and then the other one I was doing crystals. So we've got crystals that we did with one plant, and another plant we was doing the chakra on it and what have you. And both of them got really healthy, but then the slugs had a good feast. So my brother won, so he's got quite big. But you can do it on plants if you want to. You know,
That's
and you've already seen that
yeah.
you can do it on your drink. I have tried it in a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, and it's tasted horrible.
Okay.
You know, and not that I drink wine, but the one time I had some wine, I tried it on wine, and the wine tasted horrible as well. But you know, you can do it on drink. You know,
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So interesting when you say
you've
tea
been
and
attuned to
coffee.
it. Yeah.
And wine makes it taste horrible. Is it they're trying to tell us it's not good for our body?
I don't know. That's strange. I never thought
Why does
about
it make
that.
it taste horrible, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah.
Why?
She should think about it. It should taste nice, but yeah.
Yeah, because you basically the protection, and it's also like also blessing kind of thing. So when it
Yeah.
tastes horrible, so maybe it's not good for our body. I mean, that's how I look at it. But I should try that actually. Not that I don't drink wine, but I do take tea and coffee. I should try that and see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I could try it also, like say like if I have plant-based milk instead of cow's milk as well,
Yeah.
and see if there's
Yeah.
any difference.
Yeah. I've tried it
that's
on
interesting.
fizzy things, like a fizzy drink, because I drink a lot of squash, and I also like what do you call it, lemonade and this sort of thing. I've tried it on fizzy and it doesn't make any difference, but I think it's because it's a fizzy drink, it's always moving, so the chakra can't really work on it. But you can even do it on your food.
Interesting.
Some people even bless the food, like do it 3 times on the food.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
No, that's all right, my lovely.
So, yeah. Right. Okay. So if I do the chakra, right? Okay. It's like a protective bubbles, right? Okay.
Yes.
And then before I do, because in the beginning you mentioned about grounding and then protection using the pendulum. So the chakra is like another way of protecting yourself. Am I right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah.
I can choose one or the other.
Yeah.
Do the chakra and don't worry about the pendulum.
Yeah.
But do I have to, before I do the chakra, do I have to ground myself, or doesn't matter? Because the
you
chakra
do need to ground yourself
anyway.
for you to bring the energy through the chakra. So you do need to be able to ground it or anchor your energy, because otherwise it won't be coming through you as strong. But don't forget, when we're doing symbols, it's actually challenging energy. And if you think about it, if you're doing the chakra and you're doing it like all the way around you and above your head and below your head, that's probably going to take you 2 minutes or a minute and a half or so. Whereas if you use the pendulum, that might only take you 5 seconds. So it's entirely up to you. But I think it's quite good to use the chakra as well if you need it more intense, if you like, if you're going to a funeral or something like that.
Okay.
You know, which is really like sad or something. A lot of people are feeling sad, aren't they? You know, saying that the funerals I've gone to, they end out laughing, and you've got so many different emotions coming through, don't you?
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, all right. No, great, thank you.
I don't mean laughing at the actual funeral.
No, I understand.
At the wake afterwards, and what have you, when you're reminiscing and telling stories.
Yes.
And that.
Yes, that's right. True.
So, Harry, have you got any questions that you want to ask me about what we've done?
No, not really, because when I was reading through last night,
Yes.
I did jot down a few things. But you know what? If I have any other, I'll come back to you.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
know, I'm always here. I'm always here if you need me.
Thank you. Yeah.
So
You
that,
know, when I look at the homework here that you say,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I was going to say, now
I'm
to
not.
recap, your homework
Yeah.
is to look
Yeah.
after yourself, is to do
Okay.
self-healing in the morning and evening if you can, is to
Right.
do some
Okay.
self-healing if you want to in the middle of the day, if you want to do it like hand on your heart, hand on your tummy, is to also to remember to use colours if you want to in your auric field.
Okay.
And then to use the shock ray over photographs, over your drink, you know, on your pillow, using it for your daughter, using the shock ray anywhere that you wish to. You know,
Okay.
your shock ray, and even though I'm a grandmaster, the shock ray, I still use the shock ray now. The shock ray is one of the best symbols that you can have.
Right. Okay.
It's so powerful and also universal because you can use it to increase the healing energy.
Yes.
And also to do it for protection and also as a blessing.
Yes. Okay. Using colors. All right. Okay. No, thank you.
No, that's all right, my lovely.
Yeah. Thank you. And then when you say, okay, just because I'm more concerned about like protecting the house,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So if I put the pyramid,
Yes.
the golden pyramid, right, top and bottom,
Yes.
and I do individual rooms with the chakra, right?
Yes.
That means I don't have to do the door as well, do I? Because it's all part of it, or the door is separate and the window as well.
No, you don't need to do the door and the window. I personally would do separately the front door. Because the front door is where people come in and out. So just draw 3 on the front door. I've got it in your manual here. Do 3 on the front door. And also the front door you open when you're having a parcel delivered, or you're opening when you have your shopping delivered or something like that. So I would do also the front door. So, you know, you could argue that because you're opening the front door in and out, you might need to do it more often. But again, it's when you feel it that you need doing it.
Okay.
So your intuition. So it's entirely up to you. You don't need to do it every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not as if you're living next door to a prison or living next door to a police station or a funeral directors or something like that. I mean, I'm not on about the people that have died. I'm on about the relatives going there and they're upset. So as long as you're living, you know, in a fairly nice area, you don't need to do it that often.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah,
that's all right, my lovely.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this to download. So you probably have to give me 20 minutes, half an hour.
That's fine.
So it downloads, then I have to upload it, and then I'll email it, and I'll email it also with your certificates and that as well. And don't forget, Harry, you know, everybody's individual. You'll know when you need to do some self-healing. If you do it morning and night, great. You'll know when somebody needs some help, if they need the shock ray. And just go with your intuition, because you're a very spiritual lady anyway. And with this Reiki, it's just giving you an extra boost, if you like, isn't it?
It has already given me the boost, actually. Thank you. I'm so excited.
And if you decide to do your practitioner, you'll need to wait at least 3 weeks, 21 days before you do it. And I'm saying this to you, Harry, because I love you. You don't need to do it with me. If you're doing it with somebody else because you like it in person or what have you, that's entirely up to you. It doesn't have to be with me. You know, I'm so grateful that you've helped, you know, chose me to help you on this journey with you doing your Reiki 1. Yeah. And remember, if you've got any questions or anything, let me know. So I'm here for you. Yeah. So I'm going to send you a kiss and send you my love. All right, my darling.
Thank you.
Take care and have a lovely, lovely day. All right then. Bye.
Thank you.
Darling.
Same to you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. You look the same, Linda, as I met you all those years ago. Yeah. Honestly, you look the same. Honestly.
Well, and you do, my darling. I'm really pleased. And thank you, Harry. You take care.
Bye-bye, dear.
And God bless. All right.
Thank
bye,
you.
darling.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Bye, darling. Bye.